So when I look at the projects in particular, the feel that I get from the office, the feel that I get from working with you guys and knowing you guys over the past 12 to 16 months is that you guys are in the business of selling cool, right? Selling influence. And you are the conduit between the brand who needs cool in order to sell their products and solutions, and then people who are perceived as cool, right? So if you were going to put it into a superconductor, if you will, or a vacuum chamber, the projects are the people who facilitate that, right? You're thinking about it, you're executing it. So in a creative endeavor and in an incredibly creative field that is experiential marketing, influencer marketing, marketing in general, it requires a ton of bandwidth, right, from you guys as marketers, as business people, and as thinkers. So there's a performance that comes with everything. So backtracking a little bit, when I started writing this book about a year and a half ago, I've always been a nerd and an intellectual. So I started to think about what's the difference between those who do and those who don't, right? You have a gazelle out in the middle of sub-Saharan Africa. One of those gazelles is going to be eaten, one of them is not. And then there's a lion or a cheetah or a tiger or some sort of predator. Same thing in the ocean. And I started thinking to myself, like, well, what's the difference in the neurochemistry, right? And the brain process, between the gazelle that gets eaten and those who don't. It's survival. What's the difference in the people that are sitting in this room at the projects who are successful? You're successful because you're sitting in the room, looking at the brands and looking at the board, looking at your leadership and looking at your team, and there's something about this group of people, right? It's not just getting up when the iPhone goes off and say, oh, it's 7 a.m., I'm gonna go to work. Anybody can do that, right? So a trained monkey in a lab can get up, eat a banana, take a nap, and go back to work. But there's something about people and their neurochemistry and their drive, right, that makes them perform at a certain level. So then I started to look at just the art of performing. So if I were an actor, if I were a musician, which I am, if I were an executive, which I am, what makes me perform? When we're doing a project with Dell that's in New York, that's absolutely nuts, and there's deadlines and everything needs to change within 24 hours, right? And your staff and my staff are sitting there and we're just trying to serve the client and everyone's coming together as a team. You notice that when we're in those moments, people get into the zone, right? There's a quietness that comes over us, almost like a Michael Jordan in the Game 6, or a Tiger Woods when he was in his heyday, right? Or Pete Sampras on the